Hi there, so this is the end of July 2021 and the Tokyo Olympics have just started. Now, to run in conjunction with this, Concept2 are doing the Rowlympics thing, which is basically a set amount of timed or distance rows for you to row along, upload your scores, and you can be part of it, all very groovy. Now, so I thought I'd just kind of give you a little bit of a hand by making some row along workouts for you to do in order to kind of get you through them, to have a decent warm up and a decent cool down at the end. This row along workout is the 2,000 meter event. Now, I'm going to row for 10 minutes, which will hopefully be enough time for most of you to complete your 2,000 meters. If you stop before I do, then either continue with some light rowing or just stop and stretch while you wait for the cool down to start. Of course, you could always just fast forward the video. Each of the rows for the Rowlympic event are on the ErgZone app, so feel free to load them up to pre-program your monitor. However, for the time being, we're going to get into our 10-minute warm-up, and as always, we start off by setting up the machine. So go to your drag factor first and set that where you want it to be, or if you're on a different kind of rowing machine, just set the resistance where you want it to be, okay? Which is basically just enough that you can get a feeling of the stroke, but you're not really wrenching a really hard, heavy boat, okay? Then go to your monitor and set it to eye height, so you don't have to look up and you don't have to look down, and finally set the foot strap so that if you're in shoes, probably they'd cover the bottom lace in your shoe, or regardless of what you're wearing, whether you're in socks or bare feet like me, you set it so that you can get to a point where you can get to the front of the machine with your shins pointing vertically without feeling all bound up, okay? Right, so 10-minute warm-up. We're going to start this at 18 strokes a minute, and the power effort is going to start just pretty much a body weight squat, okay? So just as though you're just standing up from a squat. And I'll tell you why as we start this. Okay, so here we go then. Warm-up starts in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, 18 strokes a minute. And like I say, all you're doing is concentrating on pushing lightly with the legs as though it's a body weight squat. And what we need to do is spend the first minute or so working on the timing between that press into the foot plate and when the handle picks up the flywheel. Now, a good tip here is that if you hear your seat slide, kind of like, I'll demonstrate, that kind of whoa of the seat slide, before you feel the handle picking up the flywheel or hear the flywheel spinning, then there's a chance you're missing your timing. There's things like the force curve that also tells you that, but it's a good kind of audio clue. Closing your eyes helps as well, actually. You can focus more. Now, you may realise after you've done one of these Rowlympic row-alongs that I'm cheating and I'm recycling the same warm-up and cool-down. So you're going to see this 10-minute warm-up each time and the same 10-minute cool-down. This is basically just so I can squeeze in the 3 short sprint ones into one filming session. Very lazy, but you'll realise that anyway by the state of, in fact, I'm still wearing the same vest and shorts in each video. I don't think you have to be a detective to work that one out. Okay, so 3 more strokes time. We're going to go up to 20 strokes a minute, and I want you to increase your pace by 2 or 3 seconds from where you are now, okay? Right, so here we go. 20 strokes a minute, just a little bit more force, and then we're going to do this for 2 minutes, and then when we come back after the 2 minutes, we're going to go into 18 strokes a minute again. But this time we're going to try and hold a specific pace instead of it being woolly, well, like it is right now. If you want a pace right now, pick 2k plus 18. Now, if you don't know what 2k plus something means, that is when you do a 2-kilometer time trial and divide the resulting time by 4. And that gives you your average pace in your 2k time trial to cover 500 meters. And most good rowing machines will show you your current speed as your pace per 500 meters. So If your 2K average was bang on 2 minutes, because you rowed it in 8 minutes in total, and I say row it 2K plus 18, then you want the screen to show 2 minutes and 18 seconds as you're rowing. Okay, so we're gonna drop down to 18 strokes a minute, but at 2K plus 20 pace in 4 strokes time. Okay, 2 more. Right, 1 more. Right, here we go then. So 18 strokes a minute for 1 minute at 2K plus 20. And now, this is when you start thinking about technique a little bit more. And I want you to think about holding that forward lean at the front of the stroke with straight arms. And that lean should be by tilting over the hips, not by bending in through the lower back or doing some kind of Gollum-esque upper back rounding. And then as you drive with the legs, you hold that forward lean and arm straight until at least halfway down the stroke. And that's when you swing over your back and pull in your arms. Okay, 3 more strokes and we're going to go up to 22 strokes a minute and 2K plus 15 pace. You ready? Let's go. Just for 30 seconds. And then we're going to drop back down to the 18s again. If you've done any of my 10-minute warm-ups before, this won't be a surprise to you. If you haven't, then I apologise for the speed at which I'm dumping the pace changes on you. 2 more strokes. 1 more. Now we're down to 18s again and 2K plus 20 pace. Try to hold that 2K plus 20 if possible. Might take you a few strokes to get into the rhythm again. Okay, 3 more strokes, we're going up to 24 strokes a minute and 2K plus 12 pace. 1 more. Here we go. 30 seconds again. And remember, drive by pushing with your legs, with your arms straight and a forward lean. But your power is generated from your legs. And you finish with your back and arms. 1 more. And back to 18s. Okay, you getting this? And then in 20 seconds time, we're going to go up to 26 strokes a minute and 2K plus 9 pace. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Just for 30 seconds again. Just push harder with your legs to get slightly faster drive speed. And then get that handle over your knees and swing over your hips to have a slightly faster recovery. And that should take care of your increased stroke rate. 1 more. And back to 18s. You'll notice I'm saying that I want you to increase pace and rate by pushing harder with your legs. I'm not saying pull harder with your arms. All right, 3 strokes. Then we're going up to 28 strokes a minute and 2K plus 5. Here we go. So get into the front and push. Try and connect with the handle at the same time. I think I Started off a bit slow then. For stroke rate. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to 18s. We've got one more to go, which is 30 strokes a minute at either 2k plus 2 or 2k pace. Depends how you're feeling today. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 30 strokes a minute. That's one stroke every 2 seconds. You're pretty much dry for a second, recover for a second at this stage. But make sure to keep those arms straight as you push with the legs. 3 more. Last one. Back to 18s, let's paddle home. Just keep the pace at 2k plus 20 one last time. Three more strokes. I'll do drill work in the cool down in case you're missing them. But as far as the warm-up's concerned, we're all done. Make sure and have a drink, move up and down the rail, and give the time it takes for me to just quickly describe today what we're doing as a moment to let your body replenish its ATP, ready for what should hopefully be a tough row. Okay, so today's workout is the 2,000 meter Rowlympics event. Now I'm going to do this as a 10-minute row, which will hopefully capture most of you doing your 2K. If you stop before I stop, then keep on doing maybe some light rowing or take some time and stretch while you wait for me to kick into the cool down. If it takes you a little bit longer than those 10 minutes, don't worry about it. Just keep on rowing and either pause the video and rewind it to get back into the cool down. Obviously don't pause while you're rowing, that's just silly. But when you're done, rewind it to get into the cool down, because the cool down is very important, especially if you've just done a 2K time trial, okay? Pacing wise for this, well, what I suggest is that if you know the pace you're going to row it at, then start off at 1 second faster than what you think, and then do that, so you hit that pace for the first 500 meters, and then the middle 1,000 meters of your 2K, back off that pace by 2 seconds, and then the final 500 meters, you then increase back up to your original pace or faster. And we do the maths for that, that should work out as your predicted pace. And if you're managing to sprint that last 500 meters, then you might be able to knock off an extra 1 or 2 seconds from that pace, okay? So good luck with it. It's one that you'd need to kind of really stay tenacious through. I'll talk the whole way through it. I'll tend to kind of, on my row, every 2.5 minutes, I'll assume that's 500 meters gone. Apologies that it's not going to match with what you're doing, but hopefully my chat will at least keep you, I was about to say interested, but that's probably too far. Anyway, oh, it's warm today, I've got sweat running in my eyes. Right, have a last drink. I'll try to keep your stroke rate up through this, okay? Don't worry about following me, just worry about yourself. Because I'm going to be talking to you, I'm not going to be able to do this as a proper 2K, so just worry about your own stroke rate and just listen to me, okay? Here we go then, in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So power, you want to start off fast, okay? Even if you duck 3 or 4 seconds under your pace, and then settle into 1 second faster than your pace now. So those first 5 or 6 strokes are using up the ATP in your muscles. It's almost like free power. But then you have to settle down once that's been exhausted. Otherwise you're just going to go anaerobic and not manage it. So settle down into your stroke rate and your pace. The good thing is that by going fast in those first 10 seconds, you should be able to just be rowing at your predicted pace on the nose rather than faster by now, so that as you close out your first 500 meters, your average will be just the 1 second faster than your expected pacing. Now, a minute and a half is usually when you cross the threshold and the burn might start to set in to your muscles. Don't worry about it. That's just you starting to use up fuel. All the oxygen that had powered your muscles is now in short supply. So this is now down to your core fitness and things to carry you through. It's usually your first question that gets asked when I'm at now as to whether you want to carry on holding this pace. Trust me, you can. So continue going. Crossing that first 500 meters is a good sense of relief, because you can start counting down towards the halfway mark. Keep your technique flowing. If you shift your focus onto your body rock forwards and backwards, and the rhythm, metronomic feel of forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, then shifting your attention away from any negative thoughts can help get you through micro stages. Focus on 10 strokes, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, and hopefully just deflecting your thought process, distracting yourself with something else will get you in the flow. If you feel it's getting tough, lick your lips. You can still breathe while you lick your lips. That triggers your vagus nerve and your parasympathetic system and will make you feel better. 5 minutes done. Continue with the good technique, pushing with the legs. Forward lean, straight arms. Let that power flow uninterrupted from your legs into the machine. Get the handle away from you at the same rhythm you brought it in at. In, out. In, out. In, out. Get the handle past your knees. Let it trigger that forward lean. Arms end up nice and straight, and once handles past your knees, just bend your knees to roll forwards. Take a look at where you are. If you're within 500 to go, try and sprint home. If you're ploughing away nicely, shift your attention to your pinkies on the handle. What are they feeling like? Talk to your pinkies for a few strokes. Take your mind off the rest of your body. Then bring your attention to your breathing. Do you have a solid rhythm going? Are you breathing out on the drive or in on the drive? At this stage, I'm breathing in as I drive, exhale as I finish with the handle. 2 minutes to go, 8 minutes gone. This is into my final 500 meter equivalent. Increase the pace. Start off by hitting 1 second under your desired pace, and then with 250 to go, unleash the power. Almost there. Come on. Keep that stroke flowing. Push with the legs. Keep your posture powerful. All right, here we go. Last 250 for me. I'm into the last minute. Carry on, increasing pace. And then with around 100 meters to go, that's when you really crank up pace and stroke rate. Here we go. Up we go. Get that rate up. The faster stroke rate will serve you good here. 10 seconds. Power, come on. 2 more. 1 more. Oh. Hopefully you've been doing some light rowing and watching me suffer. Do let me know how you got on with that. Oh. Anyway, let's hit the time machine and go back to less out of breath times and hit the cool down. Now, because that was such a short row, we are going to do, once I find it, there we go, 10-minute cool down, okay? And it's not just a cool down. This is a chance for you to work on technique, get a little bit of an extra amount of time on the rowing machine. But what we'll do is we'll do 8 minutes worth of rowing, and then the last 2 minutes we'll do our single leg and arms only and body only rowing, okay? So here we go then. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. I'm gonna start off at 18 strokes a minute again. But see if you can go whatever your average was of the 1K just then. Row this 25 seconds slower. So if you averaged 140, then I want you to row this at 205. Okay, so I still want you to put in some effort. This isn't the same as how we opened the cool down, where we were just going to sing a body weight squat. This time you want to be around about 25 seconds in your 1K, or about 40 seconds slower than your 1 minute, or 20 seconds than your 2K. Seriously, the danger of rowing outside, it's very pretty, but there's so many bugs landing on me. It's all the carbon dioxide I'm breathing out. It's like a calling card to them all. Okay, we're going to do the same again, where as we get to 2 minutes, we're going to bump up the stroke rate. But don't worry, we're not going to go through the high strokes rates. So, one more here. Let's go up to 20 strokes a minute. And 2 seconds faster. And then we'll go back down to 18. Then back up to 20. Then we'll do the single leg drills. Then we're all done. I know often it's a hard sell, these low stroke rate sessions, but the truth is, although they may not be the flagship rows, these are the ones that let you shine. These are the ones that build and refine your energy system, so that when you were going fast in your 1K or 1 minute or 2K, it's rows like these that have developed the fitness capacity in order to hold that pace. I mean, most people can climb onto a machine and row a good 10 seconds faster than their 2K time. But the question is, how long can they hold it for? So if you found in either your 1 minute, 1K or 2K that you faded because of cardio, then it's sessions like this that help you build it. Okay, 3 strokes to go and back down to 18 for this cool down. All right, 18 strokes a minute. But then also, because we're slowed right down, it gives you a chance to really focus on elements of your technique. Like as you come into the front, are you getting the timing right between the legs pushing into the machine and your handle picking up the flywheel or water wheel or whatever at the same time? Or try to Think about what's happening to your upper body. Are you swinging back even before your hands and feet connect? So you're missing your connection, chain and power of letting the stroke flow up through your body, through your back and into the handle. So if you swing back too early, all the power goes through your lower back instead, and you're missing out on the extra power that you get from swinging over your hips, which will show in the drills section. What about your arms? Are you keeping them straight as you drive, or are you grabbing too early? Right, 2 more strokes. We're going to go up to 20 strokes per minute. Here we go. 20 strokes per minute, and back up to that 2k plus 18 pace again. Do this for 2 minutes, and then we'll draw to a close with the single leg, then legs only, arms only, well, arms and back drills. You need to make sure not to grab and start pulling the handle from the front. Let that power flow through nice straight arms, and then only pull and bend your elbows at the back of the stroke. Think of a water skier. You don't see them with bent arms fighting against the boat. Oh, I lost stroke right. They have straight arms so that the power can flow from the boat into the handle, through the body and into their skis, without their biceps fighting against that power, which not only soaks up the power, but will really tire your biceps. It's the same with rowing, except reverse. The power comes from your feet, from your skis, up through your body, into your hands, and into the handle. So you should be pulling the boat towards you with your leg drive. Don't try that. All right, 3 more strokes, then we'll put 1 foot in the ground. 1 more. Okay, put 1 on the ground, carry on rowing with just 1 leg strapped in. Not much should change technique-wise, apart from the fact you've got 1 leg on the ground. Should still be holding that forward lean at the front, back lean at the back, but the single leg may help with compression at the front. Just don't let it over compress you. Swap feet. Of course, I'm a great big show off because I'm in bare feet. I can just slip in and out the foot straps with great ease. You may still be struggling with your whatever shoes you've got on. Make sure and still give a good strong push from the leg. Work on that timing. This is a great time to work on the timing between feet and handle. Right, both feet in, legs straight. Swing over your back, pull in your handle, release your handle, swing back over your back. Okay, so you're just rowing, starting off the power by picking up the flywheel with the backswing. And then when your back has swung around about halfway, that's when you finally pull in the handle. This is really important. This can teach you what it feels like to get that sequencing right. Roll into the front with straight arms and just push out from the front. Don't have to worry about power here. All you're focusing on is making sure that you hold that forward lean in straight arms, and you're getting the timing with that push connection right. So in many ways, the softer the better here, so you can take your time to concentrate on the right position. Get one more out of this. Yeah, finish nice and strong. Okay, and that's the warm-up complete. So whether you did the 1K, the 1 minute, or the 2K for these Rowlympics, I hope it made sense. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're doing all three of them, I hope you're not going to get too frustrated by the fact you did the same warm-up and cool-down. But to be honest, the only difference is just you're having to listen to me at the same time. So you could always just stick on music in the background or something and just drown me out. Maybe the chatter within the main row itself is the most useful part, but that said, I do guide you through when to change your stroke rates and stuff. So. But maybe you just don't find me interesting. A lot of people do. No, as in don't find me interesting. A lot of people do, no, however. I'm going to start blowing smoke up my own trumpet. Anyway, thank you so much for being part of this. If you did do one of the proper 1,000 meter, 1 minute, or 2,000 meter rows, then make sure to log it at log.concept2.com. If you don't have a logbook there, then do start one. It's a great community that will help you out, and that way you can get towards the completion certificate for doing all of the rows within the 8 days of the rowing timetable for the Olympics 2021. Of course, if you come along to this and it's like 2023 and you've just seen it, you'll be like, we all live underwater now, we don't row in rowing machines, in which case, what are you doing sitting watching YouTube? Anyway, that's for the living underwater's from a British band called Busted. So if you're going to leave me a comment anywhere, then do #busted, because it works in two ways. Because you could be busted because it was a tough row, but also because we all live underwater is a line from a Busted song. So I think it's not McFly, is it? Yeah, it's Busted. Whatever. You can correct me if it's wrong. Anyway, thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for doing this row. Be well, stay safe. Bye-bye.